Hello everyone, Bart Vaclavik here with VolairSim.com. Today we're going to do a real IFR flight using the Volair Sim chassis with the Saitek Yoke, the Saitek Pro Flight avionics, and we're going to show you how this whole chassis works together in practice. And to make things even more interesting, what we're going to do is fly an IFR flight using pilotsedge.net. Pilotsedge.net is a paid service which allows you to use a real human ATC services, air traffic control services, while using your simulator. I have no, how should I say, financial interest in pilotsedge.net, but I would say it's highly recommended, especially if you're trying to practice your voice communication and just feel more comfortable flying with real traffic controllers. This is something that you can basically check for yourself, but I use it, just to keep sharp with the communication. We're going to fly in the SoCal approach type of area. We're gonna do a TEC route, tower en route control. If you're not familiar with those, check those out. They're not all that popular all over the country, but they're very, very popular in California area. And what we've done is already filed an IFR flight plan, just like you would do in real life. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off from San Diego Gillespie Field, and we're going to fly to the Oceanside VOR. And then that's the Sierra Alpha November 3 TEC route. And then from the Oceanside VOR, we're going to follow Victor 23 at 6,000 feet to the Seal Beach VOR. And from there, we're going to probably get a vectors to John Wayne SNA Sierra November Alpha Airport. And I also requested an instrument approach. So hopefully you're going to see how this whole setup works with an instrument flying. The aircraft is already positioned at the Gillespie Field in San Diego. Like I said, flight plan has been filed. I'm going to put on my headset because I'm going to communicate with the traffic controller just like I would be in real life. I got my low altitude IFR maps here and plates and all that good stuff using ForeFlight. You will see me communicating. I'm going to be pushing this push to talk button just like in a real aircraft. I've got it all programmed so it connects to this piece of software that allows me to communicate with the traffic controller. So let's get started. I am going to call the controller, and I'm going to get my clearance to John Wayne. See what happens. Alright, we're going to call clearance, so make sure you get something to write, just like in a real aircraft, because you're going to copy the clearance. The clearance frequency, I already dialed into COM1 here, 125.1. So I've got that ready, and I'm going to call him. Gillespie Field clearance delivery, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, over.
Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, Gillespie delivery, go ahead.
Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, request IFR clearance into John Wayne.
Centurion 6 Tango Bravo, good to John Wayne Airport, via fly heading 340, radar vectors to Oceanside, then as filed. Maintain 3000. Expect 6,000 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 6774.
Centurion 356 Tango Bravo is cleared to John Wayne via heading 340 after departure to Oceanside, then as filed, climb maintain 3,000, expect 6,000 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 6774.
Centurion 6 Tango Bravo, expect runway 27 left.
27 left. Centurion 6 Tango Bravo. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, first things first, gotta set up your airplane before you get going. First we're gonna do a squawk. So squawk is 774. So let's do that. 6774. 6, 7, 7, 4. Okay, that's good. We're going to set our initial altitude for 6,000. So again, using my autopilot here, I'm going to set my initial altitude for 6,000, and our heading, just so we know, it's 340. Okay, I'm going to dial this to 340. Okay, good. And okay, we're going to contact ground here, 1 to 1.7, right here. And we're going to request taxi. We are positioned on the East Transit parking, so we're kind of facing really close to runway 27 left, so it's going to be a really short taxi. And we should be ready to go. So let me give him a call. San Diego ground, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, East Transit parking, ready for taxi.
Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, Lima ground, runway 19 right, taxi via Bravo, Lima, and I think it's still on dual frequency. Actually, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo disregard, just thinking about that plane. Runway 27, taxi via Delta 6.
Taxi via Delta and Delta 6, Centurion 6 Tango Bravo. Yeah, so this was the right frequency, and we're going to taxi via Delta and then Delta 6 for runway 27 left for departure. Okay, we're sitting at next Delta 6, 27 left. We're going to call tower and get going. Tower is 120.7, so I'm just going to dial this here, 120.7, if you want to zoom that in. Okay, and what we're going to do here, since our departure frequency 119.6, we're going to dial that here on standby. Okay, so make sure we got, make sure everything is good. Then what we need to do is probably need to dial our oceanside VOR frequency on the nav 115.3. 115.3 is oceanside VOR. And let's kind of walk down this panel. This is my COM2. I'm not going to use it. Normally would use it for ATIS. Let's make sure that my airplane is ready for takeoff. Got avionics master is on. Turn on the fuel pump. We're going to turn in, my panel lights are on because it's getting kind of dark. It's already getting evening over there in California. Beacon. Turn on my nav lights. Turn on my landing lights. My gear is down, obviously. Here I am going to put a 1 notch of flaps. My heading is still 340. My transponder is 6774, like we said. And here in the right hand side we're going to switch from standby to normal. Okay, so this is the feature of the pilot's edge, little control that where you have to set it up. Okay, so I'm going to give him a call and we go. Gillespie Tower, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, 27 left at Delta 6, ready for departure.
Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, Gillespie Tower, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 27 left, Centurion 6 Tango Bravo. Make sure prop is full forward. I don't know if you can see that here. I'm going to swing my keyboard out of the way, so don't need that anymore. That's why we made this keyboard rotatable. I can put my writing pad here and an iPad. This is my mixture prop, full forward. Trim is set for takeoff. So let's go. And I've got my transponder on active or mode C. Okay, so this is 27 left. Remember, after departure, the heading was 340 degrees. So that's why I put it here as a mental note or mental reminder. Alright, let's go. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention what I'm flying here. I am flying a, obviously you heard the call sign, it's a Coronado Centurion, so Cessna 210. I don't fly this airplane in real life, but I just kind of like it, how this was developed. I think they did a real nice job. So I bought it and I fly it on the flight sim. Okay, positive rate of climb. I'm gonna put our gear up here. Gonna bring the flaps up. Okay, we're going to make our turn, usually 500 feet AGL where you make your turn, but here we're clear of terrain and everything, so you can slowly start making the turns at 340.
Numbers for my Delta, joining tower runway 19 right, clear for takeoff.
So-called departure, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo with you, climbing through 1,600 for 6,000.
Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000, Saitek altimeter 3024.
3024, climb maintain 6,000, Centurion 6 Tango Bravo. Alright, so I put it on autopilot so I can explain what's going on, but basically what we're doing is we're so-called departure, or so-called approach, and we're climbing through for 6,000 feet. He cleared us to that altitude. We're still in heading 340. I'm going to turn off my landing lights. I'm going to turn off my fuel pump, and we're good to go. And what he's going to do is probably just give us vectors to the ocean side VOR, and from there we're just going to continue as filed. So-called approach. Good evening, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo with you, level 6,000.
Union 356 Tango Bravo, SoCal approach is online, reporting wind calm, altimeter 3026, safe approach at west.
Centurion 6 Tango Bravo, we would like ILS approach for John Wayne, please.
Centurion 6 Tango Bravo, expect the ILS runway 19 right approach.
Expect 19 right, Centurion 6 Tango Bravo. So, I'm glad that they gave us the 19 right approach. You heard the winds are calm. So we already passed the oceanside VOR, and now what I'm doing is tracking the Victor 23 at 6,000 to the Seal Beach VOR, which is 115.7. Maybe you can see here, so I switched that. I can put this on a DME mode here, if you can zoom on here. I've got it on autopilot, but so I can maybe move the yoke here so you can kind of see better. And it's not going to upset the autopilot. You can see that my DME is reading 39.1 miles, nautical miles, so that's how far we are from the Seal Beach VOR. 115.7 is the frequency of the VOR, and that's what I've got dialed in, and I'm going to bring up here my approach plate for John Wayne. So it's Kilo Sierra November Alpha, and all kinds of different things, but what we're going to do is ILS for runway 19 right. I'm assuming what's going to happen is he's going to give us some vectors to final, and then we're going to intercept the ILS for 19 right. So let's see what happens. We're cruising again at 6,000. We have a pretty good ground speed, about 160 knots or so. And again, I dialed in my mixture and prop. And we're enjoying a pretty nice evening here in the following the coastline here in Southern California.
Centurion 6 Tango Bravo, said to maintain 4,000.
Say maintain 4,000, right 350. So the controller gave us the heading of 340 degrees and asked us to descend to 4,000 feet, and that's what's going to happen is he will give us vectors to final for John Wayne. This time is a good time to brief the approach for John Wayne. If you've flown it in real life, you know it's not the easiest one because you've got mountainous terrain to the east, and therefore the MSA, the minimum safe altitude, varies. From 3,000 feet looks like to 7,700. But basically what's going to happen is he'll give us vectors to final. We'll intercept the lights open localizer. It looks like 3,500 is the altitude before you reach Sager, which is the initial approach fix. And then there's a bunch of step downs, and you'll just use your DME readout to get down. right heading 010, center and 6 Tango Bravo. So I am using an autopilot a lot on this video, but that's just so I can kind of talk and explain what I'm doing. I would highly recommend, as much as you can, try to fly by hand, and actually fly the approach by hand will disable the autopilot. We are turning, we're heading 010, and slowly we're going to work our way into John Wayne. He's going to basically give us vector to intercept the localizer. Again, the decision altitude is 255 feet, so we'll fly this approach right to the minimums. I usually like to round it up, to the nearest. So let's just say, for easy math, we're just going to fly it to 300 feet MSL, and which is 200, obviously 200 feet AGL, and and we'll just do a normal landing at John Wayne. Again, this is 19 right ILS approach. Right heading 030, center and 6 Tango Bravo. So we are right now at 4,000.
Romeo contact.
We're right now at 4,000 feet,
6.35.
and we are being slowly vectored to intercept our final approach fix. So what I can do right now is, since I'm using the heading mode, I can dial in on the autopilot. Maybe you can zoom in here. 194 degrees. Zoom that on.
Spacecraft 8782 Romeo contact Los Angeles Center 126.35.
Not to go too far. 194, and that's basically the final course for the ILS, and we have already our localizer frequency here, and it's got a DME readout too, so when I flip it over on
Carrying 6 Tango Bravo, 3 miles from Snake, turn right heading 1, or let's see, turn left heading 220, maintain 4,000 till status on the localizer, cleared ILS will be 1 minute right approach.
turn left heading 220, clear ILS 19 right approach, trim 6 Tango Bravo.
Spacecraft 8782 in the Los Angeles Center, Miami.
So the controller has cleared us for the approach. So I can flip this and intercept my localizer. 220 is my heading that he gave us. Intercept the localizer. I'm actually going to put the tower 1 to 6.8 here. In a standby, so we should be good to go. Okay, 220, and looks like we've got on the HSI here, we are ready to go. So I'm gonna just disable the autopilot and start intercepting this. Okay, it's coming in already. If you can zoom in on the HSI, you can see that it's coming in. And since he cleared us for the approach, as soon as the glide slope is live, I can actually start my descent. And I started it, 500, 600 foot descent. Be good. On this, I'm going to hand fly it as much as I can, so you can see it on the video. And okay, make sure that we brief the approach here as far as the aircraft is concerned. Typically people like to do different things. I usually put my landing gear down on my final approach fix. This makes it handy for the iPad here. and it's 7.9 DME, final approach fix. So we're at 12.1. So we can keep on zooming. Looks like we're well established here. Maybe just a tad high on the glide slope. Again, I'm kind of trying to juggle a few things, just explaining everything and flying it. Normally you would just concentrate on flying.
356 Tango Bravo, contact SoCal approach, approximate contact downwind power 126.8.
126.8, Centurion 6 Tango Bravo, good day. John Wayne Tower, good evening, Centurion 356 Tango Bravo, inbound ILS 19 right approach. One right, clear to land, Centurion 6 Tango Bravo. It was a little hard to hear, probably for you to hear him in the speakers, but he did clear me for landing. Okay, so 8.6, so what lemon is 7.9. We're just a little tad high, so let me just slow it down a little bit more before I drop the landing gear. Let's put our fuel pump on, landing light on. My mixture prop is full forward. Gotta slow her down a little bit because I'm a little high on the localizer. I'm sorry, on the glide slope. I'm good on the localizer. Obviously, I can see out the window. I'm cheating a little bit. Usually, you know that for this kind of stuff, you want to dial your weather so you cannot really see the runway. But right now, I recapture the glide slope. Put my landing gear down. Okay, I'm going passing through 1,000 feet. Remember, the decision altitude is 300. It's really 255, but I'm going to round it up to 300. I am good on the glide slope. I am good on the localizer. Things are looking good. Let's just go through the landing checklist one more time. My fuel pump is on. My landing light is on. My gear is down. I've got 3 greens. I'm going to dial in 1 notch of flaps to slow her down just a tad. Some people just don't put any flaps until they've got the field made. I kind of agree with that theory. I don't do it either. Flying in real life, usually you got plenty of time to put that flaps. You just want to keep your speed typically, and then if you go missed, you don't want to be messing with a lot of stuff, just raising the gear. You know, that's the only thing you probably need to worry about. Again, I'm a little high here. That's because I'm trying to do too many things. Let's recapture that glide slope. Okay, I have 120 knots. It's probably good. I reached my decision height, got the field, decision altitude, I got the field made, so I can land here safely.